Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to the Alchemy Fairy Show. I'm Danielle Green, the Alchemy Fairy, your guide in this transformation space where we are turning personality into power, challenges into clarity, and dreams into your everyday reality. Each week, we're going to journey together. We're going to uncover the gifts that are already inside of you, aligning your life with purpose, stepping into the magic of your truest self. So take a deep breath, open your heart, and let's begin the alchemy. This week's episode is called Quiet Confidence, Power Without the Noise. Some people feel like confidence is when you're the loudest person in the room, where you are boisterous, taking up space, taking up energy and attention from others, and that is confidence. But I would like to remind everyone that sometimes there is confidence in the quiet solitude. There can still be power there. You don't have to be the loudest, biggest rooster in the in the what is it, stable, the hen house or whatever, to gain that level of support and awareness from others. There can be confidence in just knowing that you're good at something. There can be confidence in the way that you hold your body or how you speak and articulate your words. There are many ways to demonstrate confidence. Some of that is through self-esteem work. So if you're in a new place, maybe a new friend group, a new job, a new place in the family, a new location where you might not have all of the confidence that you normally would have, like say you're very confident at the gym or in the library or wherever you feel most at home and comfortable, that could be where your natural confidence comes out the most, but you're looking to grow it in a new area. Maybe it is a growth opportunity in a role for work. Maybe it's a new place where you're just meeting new people, right? How do you cultivate that confidence within you? Sometimes it can be through practicing efforts of doing something new, and then you're kind of building a level of trust with yourself where you're saying, I can do that, and I can do that pretty well. And you're building that level of trust through repetition. Those repeated opportunities where you're saying you're setting a deadline or a goal with yourself or with others, depending on your dynamic. Like even if you do like a 30-day challenge and you say, you know what, I promised to myself I'm going to complete this 30-day challenge and I'm going to do it well, or at least to the best of my ability, and then just see what that looks like. Those simple small challenges that maybe you are just doing independently, those can build confidence. Say you're in a new role and you have to do a new report you've never done or a new task. So you gather the information that you need to complete the task well, and then you complete the task before the deadline. That's going to help build your confidence. Say you're meeting a new person. Sometimes confidence is about making sure you're not like clenching. Some of us clench our jaw. Some of us clench our shoulders. Some of us clench like our elbows to our rib cages. Just relax. If you can loosen your body posture, sometimes that can help make yourself feel more comfortable or be interpreted as coming across more confidently. So sometimes it's just about little small tweaks, depending on the situation, the circumstance, where you can boost at least the kind of fake it till you make it feeling, where maybe you're working through your confidence, but sometimes you just have to act as if. What would a confident person do in this situation? They would probably do X, Y, Z. Okay, well maybe try one or two of those things and see if that fits right with you. Try it on for size. Sometimes behavior is kind of like trying on a new pair of shoes. Maybe we don't know if we like it until we try it, and maybe it's something that's just not fit for us. But you don't know until you kind of test out the waters. And so that can build that quiet confidence, that soul level of confidence. So if you believe in yourself or you believe you're capable, you're giving yourself the space and opportunity to try something new. Sometimes confidence is about integrity. Sometimes it's about trying anything new for the first time. That newness can create uncertainty, but it doesn't mean maybe that's your gift that you would never have uncovered if you hadn't tried something new for the first time. Maybe you've never paddle boarded, but you're going to be a great paddle boarder, but you wouldn't know that you can have confidence at it until you try it. This can also come across as self-trust. Do you believe in yourself to complete the task? So when we're building our self-trust, sometimes we start with small things. Like, oh, I'm gonna eat healthy all week or eat healthy for a day. Sometimes it's a struggle. Maybe it's just a meal, right? Whatever bar you set for yourself, and building that trust of like, I said I was gonna do it and then I did it and now I believe in me a little bit more. It's a process, right? Because you're kind of building a bridge when it comes to self-trust. It's not instant. It's not a Lego bridge you pop together in 5 seconds. You know, it can take time. Does that resonate with you? Does that feel like something you've encountered or seen before, where sometimes these things do take time, and that's okay, because trust is about consistency. That's how you earn it, right? The consistent approach, consistent energy, consistent framework, all of that adds up. All of that builds into giving you a sense of quiet confidence as you're growing in those spaces. Sometimes we could feel imposter syndrome when it's very new. And imposter syndrome, if you haven't heard of it before, it's when sometimes people feel like they're not big enough to fill the shoes of where they are. Like they're not ready, like too soon. Like if you get promoted and you have imposter syndrome, or maybe you're trying to open a new company, maybe you're trying to do something big, and you get imposter syndrome of like this inner dialogue that says, who does she think she is, or who does he think he is doing this? You don't know enough about this. And it's kind of that self-doubt, self-sabotaging type of monologue inside, where this imposter syndrome has a sense of you haven't earned it, or you don't know enough, or you're not ready. And so then this narrative is built around just very defeatist level perspective, maybe some nihilism, like you're just not feeling great about this. And so that imposter feels like you haven't earned it, like you aren't capable. But I want to encourage you that you are capable. And sometimes we have to make moves where we only have 60% of the truth or reality. And then you get into it and you see the other 40% is kind of a big deal to know. But you still have to take action. You still have to get momentum. You still have to build things forward. So don't let imposter syndrome stop you. I would say give yourself grace. If you have those self-doubt comments or inner critic dialogues going on, you know, you don't, just because you think it, sometimes our thoughts can lie to us. Sometimes you have to say, you know what, brain, I don't believe you anymore. There was one reel I saw where this woman said she named her brain. And I feel called to share this with you. She named her brain Becky. She's like, you know what, Becky, you're kind of being rude today, and I don't really like it. And so she told Becky off. She's like, Becky, I'm not listening to you today because you're trying to throw this train off the rails, and I don't agree. I reject it, okay? And then she purposefully, with intention, rerouted her thoughts from the negative side of Becky into the more positive side of like, yes, I can do this. I'm absolutely amazing. Of course I can get this done on time. Like whatever was going on in her day, she rerouted the thoughts. You are capable of rerouting your thoughts, your brain power, your energy. We have control over that. You know, there is an old Native American proverb about the black wolf and the white wolf. And it's about, you know, your inner shadow self or your inner highest self. But, you know, black animals get a bad rap. I have a black retriever puppy. She's amazing. She's not the darkness inside of all of us. But this proverb, it believes there's a good side and a bad side. It's basically the ultimate point of the proverb. And it's like, well, which one wins? Which one wins? Are we all good or bad? It's the concept, right? And so they said, whichever one you feed is the one that will survive. So taking that from a good, bad perspective, or helpful or negative, helpful or destructive perspective of our thoughts, if you continue to feed, and when we say feed, we mean pay attention to, repeat, verbalize, like get them going on a little hamster wheel of doom, a little doom hamster wheel, where you're just running these negative thoughts over and over and over again. You're feeding that little black hamster of doom. Okay? So it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's going to be enormous. And it's going to be complete doomsday. Not great, right? We don't want to do that. So then the concept based on this proverb is that you want to feed the good things, the higher self things. Not necessarily always what's comfortable, because some of us the comfort is in the trauma because it's familiar. So you want to think about what is going to be serving your energy, what's going to be serving your time, and what are those thoughts? What do they look like? Do you have them going in your brain? You know, are they kind of in and out? Do you need more of them? Because sometimes, I don't know about you, friend, but sometimes my brain is just tired. It's tired of coming up with all the things for everyone, for all the time, and the future, the past, present, and future. You know, it's exhausting. So sometimes I have to get other sources of positive thoughts and take their thoughts and just funnel them in. Sometimes that's through podcasts kind of like this or other sources, or there's apps that have positive affirmations where you can have it send you anywhere from 9 or fewer notifications every single day of positive thoughts. So anytime you receive the notification, it says you are capable, you are amazing, and it has all these different areas of positive affirmations that are beautiful. And I've used it for I want to say 3 or 4 years, because sometimes we do need that outer third party just kind of cutting in and disrupting any kind of negative self-talk, or even if there's stagnation, say it's not negative, but say instead you're just kind of stuck and wherever your headspace is and you're in a rut with it, then those kind of interjections that are but wait, you're gorgeous, but wait, you're talented, remember all your gifts, your purpose is to use your gifts today, or remember that there's light at the end of the tunnel. There's all kinds of ones, and those are probably the poorest examples of them, but trust me, they're real, they help. And using these for about 3 or 4 years helped me kind of retrain my brain so that if there would be any inner dialogue, inner critic that's not being useful, I take those notifications as, you know what, we will take this and run with it, because I did need that pick-me-up, that mental boost. And sometimes our brains just get tired, and that's okay to acknowledge that when we do need help or other sources to kind of be that consumer feed that we're absorbing into our energy that day. It can all vary, but this is just to give yourself grace. If you're not able to come up with your own positivity, rerouting all the time, every single day, that's okay. It's okay to look for other sources. It's okay to look for help. It's okay to feed the white wolf with someone else's kibble, with someone else's wolf food feed, whatever the case may be, right? You can focus on those positive things, and when we have our thoughts in alignment with our intentions, so say you're working on building a healthier headspace for yourself, and so you want to feed the white wolf, and you want to feed the positivity, and you want to grow in that area. It does not mean toxic positivity, which is when you see something say your house, something terrible, some horrible crisis happens. I don't want to speak negativity over you guys, but just say a crisis occurs. Toxic positivity is when the crisis occurs, you're oh my God, we're having a great time. I'm homeless. Some terrible disaster, right? That's skipping over the negativity that has impacted you. I'm not saying do that. Please don't do that. Feel how you feel when you feel it in the moment as you're feeling it, please. Be authentic, because authenticity is where your power lives. Okay? So don't be dismissive over your pain or your emotions. Acknowledge them. I am feeling whatever it is, whatever emotions you feel. I am feeling stressed or tired or anxious, or I have this fear. Speak acknowledgement, but don't let it live there. Okay? You can hold it in your hands. There was a meditation that helped me the most when I was first starting to focus on meditation about 5 years ago. The meditation was basically a stress meditation because it was COVID 5 years ago. And for those of us who were in it, we know that everybody was grasping at all the straws you could grasp on. So this meditation that was guided, that helped me kind of restore my balance, my inner confidence. It was all about how to focus your thoughts. So the concept was, as you close your eyes and you're in the zone, a river, you're in the woods. A river is in front of you, and on the river is a very slow moving, very calm, tepid river. There's a single leaf, and on the leaf is your thought of whatever is intrusive thoughts to that moment. So the concept was, say that thought of like, I have to buy groceries, right? It's on the leaf, and the leaf is like floating down the stream. You see it, you acknowledge it, and you just let it continue. Don't let it disrupt. Don't let it destabilize your meditation. Like, focus on the present moment. I had to work through a lot of struggles on mindfulness because I was always thinking about the next thing or catastrophizing something, because that was during the catastrophe years, which I'm sure a lot of people could identify with, right? There's a lot going on. So it's hard not to get caught up in it or think of, oh, and they didn't even think about this, this, and this, and making it worse, right? That's very destabilizing to peace and your inner confidence. It means you lack confidence in everything because you think the world is just gonna kaboom, right? But it's just about being able to have awareness of, where are my thoughts? What kind of thoughts am I having? And I have control over that. So if you have something like the news, something that's floating in and just dominating all of your senses, it's very negative and it's not helping you. Or it could be even like crippling your ability to move forward or make decisions or choose peace or choose anything positive that's going to help you. Because a lot of that is fear-mongering conditioning that you're receiving when you watch those certain things. That's what they're trained to do, and they're amazing at it, which is terrible for us. But when you need to alter those thoughts and those focuses, because what we focus on, we attract more of. It gets bigger. That we call more of it into our present moment. So even if you are having, say, potentially a terrible day, you say, wow, this is not our best day, life, okay? We could have done for a better one, and you gave me this. And we're going to make lemonade out of lemons and do our very, very best, but this is not it. So please, tomorrow, if we could have a different day, let's do a different day tomorrow. That's going to be where your magic is in your brain, in your confidence, and in your ability to focus on things that are going to serve you. And so when we look at confidence without the noise, and when we are rebuilding those thoughts, it doesn't mean shout it from the rooftops. It doesn't mean make a big production out of it. You can if you want to. I'm not saying don't express yourself, but it's not needed for you to still experience 100% of the success from that investment of your energy and time. You know, sometimes we go through trials and we need confidence through these trials. We need a level of certainty so that we know we can make it through. That can happen, and that's okay. This is all a very natural progression of things. But this is just an encouraging moment from one friend to another friend that sometimes it's okay to look within. It's okay to redirect how you're thinking about things, to make sure that your thoughts are serving you, to make sure that if you need to build confidence in areas, there are ways to do that. And you are not alone, because sometimes even the most high achieving world leaders have those questionable moments where they feel like they're not enough, or they're like, how did I get invited to here? Because they're not able to receive the fact that they have done incredible, amazing things. So as another gift to you all today, like, please be receiving when you do something wonderful. Celebrate that. We don't celebrate enough the positive things. If you're a high achiever, a high performer, and you just kind of like skip over it, like, yeah, we did it, check the box, and your little check mark is your celebration, I encourage you to revisit that a different way, okay? Do not just check the box and move on to the next thing, like, oh, got a master's, next PhD. Oh, got this, now next. You know, like, take a moment to say, wow, only so many people in the world have been able to achieve this, and I was one of them. It's okay to feel grateful for having met that next milestone. That's not pride or ego. That's acknowledging an achievement, which is important because you deserve it, because you put the energy in it. And when you can pause to create celebration moments, even if they're small, even if it's like, you know, I've been really wanting to do this and I was looking for an occasion, now I'm going to go do it. And that's how I'm going to celebrate. That's okay. Find ways to celebrate your success, to celebrate your wins, to celebrate whatever brings you joy that you're doing. Even if it's getting out of the bed and that's hard for you, be like, you know what? How was a rock star getting out of the bed today? If it's taking care of whatever you got to take care of your to-do list, celebrate that. You should celebrate at least one thing a day. I'm a firm believer in that. Just take a moment to pause and say, hey, I'm doing a pretty good job. You know? And when we can give that to ourselves, when we could share that with friends, if you want to, that also helps build confidence, because you're reminding yourself, hey, I am very capable. I am able to do hard things. There was one time I celebrated hooking up a VCR back in the day after I finished my bachelor's degree. I felt queen of the world. You couldn't tell me nothing. I was queen of the world after attaching that VCR with its like 3 or 4 cables. You know, but that was a celebration to me. And some of you may not know what a VCR is, and that hurts my heart. But, you know, Google it. So I'm sure chat can write out what a VCR is. Anyways, friends, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for wandering through the magic with me today on Alchemy Fairy Show. I really appreciate it. If something stirred your soul or sparked a new thought, please share it with someone who needs a little bit of light, a little bit of humor today. You are more powerful than you know, and your magic is real, so never forget that. Until next time, please stay aligned, stay enchanted, and keep living in your alchemy. Bye.